And hello, my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle Richie, and welcome to Remembering Emily. So this is a visual novel that I was actually sent by via email, and honestly, this looks like an okayish visual novel game. I haven't played this before, but someone was actually generous enough to give me access to this game like rather early, and as far as I know, it's actually out right now. But the thing is, I wanted to play it, but I was kind of stuck with DDLC Blue Skies for well over 5 weeks. So yeah, I wanted to play other things, and I needed to finish DDLC Blue Skies and that last episode. So today we're gonna be playing Remembering Emily. It is a visual novel game, just like DDLC, but different. I don't think I have anything else to say, so let's just start. Have you ever wondered if you're asleep or awake? If you're living a dream from that day since Emily's death? I can't stop feeling this way. Tragic accident in the city center. A 25-year-old woman was hit by a car while she was fleeing from her assailant. Thomas, are you alright? Yes, sorry. Sorry, I don't think I'm ready to talk about it yet. That's understandable, Thomas. Every time we try to get to the bottom of this, you find it impossible to continue. I guess I'm afraid of looking insensitive, or that I didn't have any feelings for Emily. If you hadn't felt anything, you wouldn't be going through this. Nor would you be here. Oh, would you like to talk about her now? Yes, I think I'm ready. What was Emily like? Emily was a person I could never figure out. You could tell she hadn't had a good life for sure. When I met her, she was suffering a lot. Emily was stunning. Every time I saw her, I couldn't think about anything else. Even at times when I wanted to escape from her side at all costs. Would you say it was love? I would rather not to answer that question right now. Of course, let's go step by step. I never met anyone like Emily before, that's for sure. Anyway, Thomas, as far as I know, you never had a great relationship with Emily. You say that because we didn't spend a great deal of time together, don't you? Yes, exactly. From my reports, when you talk about Emily, you always point to really short periods of time. So far, we have we only ever talked about isolated moments and somewhat abstracted emotions about Emily. Still, I would say that the time you were with her was not very long. Probably only a few months? Yes, more or less. I must admit that even though it may seem li- like a very short time, it was very intense. It's interesting they used the word intense. He- Intense is intense is in what way, Thomas? Hmm. Because of the excitement, the confusion, the anguish, everything at the same time. With with that with Emily, there was never a middle ground. It was all or nothing, light or darkness, absolute happiness or unbearable despair. That sounds exhausting. It was. It was also addictive. When I was with her, I felt like everything else in my life faded away. As if nothing mattered more than the moment she looked at me. Although sometimes that same intensity made me want to run away. Run away? You've said that before. Indeed. Why did you want to run away from Emily, Thomas? I don't know. Or maybe I do know, but I don't want to admit it. Why don't you want to admit it? Because then I would have to accept that Emily wasn't just what I wanted to see in her. And what was it that you didn't want to see? Thomas, I know this is difficult, but if you're here, it's because you need to face those feelings. You can't keep running away inside your own mind. I know, but everything still feels so real. Sometimes I have the feeling that there's something that eludes me. As if there were pieces of a puzzle that I can't see. This is something that at some point you wanted to do because you felt you needed it. Yes, I wanted to forget. To be able to forget, first you need to understand. How is it possible that our story was so short but left such a deep impression on me? Because emotions do not understand about time, do not understand time, but the impact they have on us. And from what I can see, Emily was a profound impact on you. She did. Then perhaps we should go back to the beginning. How did you meet Emily? And how did you kill her? What? Oh, so he was the driver. I I assume it was probably an accident. Chapter 1. First Contact. There's chapters in this game? This guy woke up gray that day. Cars passed slowly and as if no one was in a hurry to get anywhere. That day, the city had awoken earlier than usual. Cafe had a perfume of freshly ground coffee and wet clothes. Almost all the tables were taken. Steam, mark, steam marks from the mugs were drawn on the window panes, as usual. But that day, there was something different. There she was, without a worry in the world, beautiful as always. I could have never imagined that such an absurd confusion would be what would lead me to talk to her. Oh, Americano with coconut ready milk? With coconut milk ready. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone approaching. Confident as if she were going straight for the coffee. I didn't think it too much. I tried to go ahead and pick up the coffee, perhaps by reflex, or to avoid the awkward moment of having to explain to a stranger that she had the wrong coffee. Who would order an Americano with coconut milk besides me? What I didn't expect was that she was going to pick it up before me, and even less that she thought I was the one who was wrong. Sorry, that's my coffee. I think you're mistaken. What do you mean yours? They didn't call it name. And you came straight for it. Yeah, it's just I ordered an Americano with coconut milk. Exactly what you have in your hand. So did I. And when they said it, I didn't hesitate because come on. Who else would order something like this? That's true. I didn't hesitate either. When I heard it, I got up without thinking, and here we are. Well, well. A great way to start the day. Someone's trying to steal my coffee without saying a word. Not even good morning. My bad. Really, it wasn't like that. It's okay. It may have been a misunderstanding. I guess. Wink. It was nothing but a misunderstanding. Although it goes without saying that the coincidence is a bit odd. Quite a lot. Because I don't know anyone else who takes it that way. Me either. Up until now. Okay, sorry for jumping the gun. It's just I don't know. I'm quite jumpy lately and this caught me off guard. I get it. Hmm. Had it been me the one who grabbed the coffee at first, I would be like you right now. Well, at least we have good taste, don't we? So it seems. Americano with coconut milk? There's the missing one. Hmm. Seriously, you're the first person I've ever met to order this. I usually get funny looks when I order it. The truth is, I have never tried it. Then why'd you order it? I saw it on Reddit. Okay, how many times if I had a nickel for every time I saw a parody of Reddit, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. I replied on a post about rare coffees. It came up as suggested just this morning. It caught my attention. So it, so was it really because of a comment on Reddit? Yes. I was struck by your, or well, whoever, whoever wrote it. Wait, can I see the comment? Of course. Thomas. Oh, it was us. Oh wait, can I hide this? Yes. Wait. So Thomas Dev, just Emma, it's me 25, Falcon 34. Am I the only one who drinks Americano with coconut milk? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. This this comment is mine. What? Thomas Dev, that's my username. I wrote this months ago. Are you kidding me? No, really, I can't be. It can't be. This comment is why I'm here. It's too weird. It's as if Reddit's algorithm decided to put that our paths had crossed today. Or as if you hadn't left a clue for me to find you. And you followed it? It looks like it. I guess I like trying new things. Sometimes the first thing that catches my eye ends up being the best thing of the day. That doesn't usually happen to me. I tend to stick with what I already knew. And yet you ordered this? We all have an exception. This is mine. I like that. Exceptions say more about a person than rules. Do you have any? I think this conversation. Shall we sit down to drink? I kind of feel bad after talking to you like that at first. Yeah, sure, why not? I could have said I was in a hurry. I could have just walked away. There's something about her. The way she looked at me as if she already knew me made me stay. Sorry again, I haven't even asked your name. I'm Emily. It completely slipped my mind as well. Thomas. It isn't the most common way to meet someone. It isn't indeed. What do you do, Emily? Right now, I'm in between jobs. I'm doing stuff here and there, helping out with, well, things. A little bit of everything. I wouldn't know how to explain it very well either. What about you? I work in software development. Today, supposedly, I had to be at the office half an hour ago. Supposedly? Supposedly. I mean, I was supposed to be there a while ago. But it's not like there's a parade waiting for me either. I'm not indispensable. I can be late one day, can't I? Do you usually take things so calmly? Only when I have a good reason. Is this one? I don't know. I got a little carried away. It is not so common in me. In this, it's not bad at all. I'm glad to hear that. It's not always easy to get someone to stay when they clearly should be somewhere. At that very moment, I got a call from work. I didn't know whether to answer the phone. How many times do you meet someone and connect immediately? Are you going to answer the phone? It's from work. Emily leaned towards the phone with a serious expression on her face. Thomas? Yes, sorry. You were telling me you had received a phone call while you were talking to Emily. Right, yes. Now, what happened next? Oh, I get a choice. Okay, I finally get a choice. Uh, Jeez, okay, well then. I replied pretending to be sick, and Emily answered the phone for me. Uh, I replied pretending to be sick. Yeah, I'm totally sick. Okay, take it from there. Finally decided to answer. I can assure you that I was not willing to miss the chance to spend more time with Emily. Hello? Yes, I'm sorry, I feel terrible. I think I have a temperature. I stayed home. I didn't want to infect anyone. Sure, I'll send a sick note tomorrow. Thank you. Yes, goodbye. Problems? No, that's it. I got rid of that for today. Great. Achievement unlocked. Sick. I'm not feeling very well. Oh, they have the achievements on top right now instead of the bottom right. That's cool. Or at least this one does. I don't know. You know, you don't look like someone who lies. Well, maybe because I'm not used to doing it. Well, it doesn't look like it. I guess you have to adapt to the circumstances. Sometimes those circumstances say more than anything else. Maybe. Any regrets? I do not know yet. I guess I'll find out soon enough. And yet, you don't seem too upset. I guess not. I felt like being here. I still don't know what exactly happened that day. What I know is that time just flew. And time did not stop with Emily in the cafe. All because of a post on Reddit. It's weird, isn't it? Talking to someone like that all of a sudden. Without having planned it. It doesn't happen every day. It reminds me of a game. What was it called? An adventure game where the character meets another character in an abandoned station? Oh, I think I do know a game like that. I just don't know what it is. Without knowing why, they start to talk as if they had known each other their whole lives. Bridges of Nowhere? That's the one. I thought few people knew it. I don't think that's a real game, but okay. It is one of my favorites. That scene hit me hard. Same here. That's why it sprang to my mind. It feels a bit like that, don't you think? A little, yes. You drink the coffee in that game, it feels like I've known you my whole life. It's not something you say every day. You say every day. It's also quite unusual for two strangers to talk so much over something as silly as coffee. And about a game that almost nobody played. Exactly. If this were a story, it would seem like your typical excuse for main characters to meet. Maybe it is. It all feels familiar. As if we talked before. I don't know, I have that feeling. I feel something similar. Do you? Yes. I don't know if it's what you're saying or if it's that it's quite rare to have so many things in common with somebody. It is as if, well, the coffee thing for starters. It's not a very common choice. And that game you mentioned, it's not exactly popular either. I spent hours playing video games, although lately I just browse Steam. I browse Steam looking for indie games that catch my attention. Oh my god, that hits way too close to home for me. That is way too close to me, bro. Because I always try to look for games like nobody hears about or nobody plays at all because it's to help give like indie games a bit more attention. I think indie games deserve more attention than they actually get. Have you played the Forgotten Echo? I got the ending in which the character stays in the house waiting for the other person to return. Wait, wait, is that an actual game on Steam? Hold on, wait, let me actually look that up. Okay, so it's not a real game on Steam, but there is a similar title one. It's called what is it? It's like the echoes of something. I don't know. But anyways, I got as far as I remember, he leaves the house alone in that ending just as it starts to rain. He leaves without looking back and without expecting it. Oh really? I could have sworn that it was the other way around. It is a strange scene, silent, but he leaves without expecting it. It's easy to get confused. Like any indie game, I guess. I played it not so long ago. It left a really deep impression. I thought I thought so. I could tell by the way you talked about it. It's as if I already know things about you without you telling me. That's a little scary. A little bit. But it's also weird, as if we had this connection before. As if you lived it before? Exactly. But it's not possible, is it? It could be a dream. Am I so important that you can only imagine talking to me in a dream? I couldn't help but smile. But within me, I did not think that being with someone like her could only be possible in a dream. Then it must be a coincidence. Or destiny. Maybe. I lost track of time. And if it hadn't been for what happened, I would surely have been there with Emily much longer. Doesn't it happen to you sometimes? What is it? As if we were following a script in a movie that no one else had seen until today. What if we were? Then I like to read it, or at least know where the story leads. Is this the kind of stories that you usually read? Not really. I usually read science fiction. Plots with weird futures and parallel universes. Things where the real is confused with imaginary. Like this, this, this conversation, this moment, this coincidence. I can't say. Sometimes I have a feeling that I'm not where I should be. And where should you be? I do not know. Me neither. I guess being honest, at this hour, I should be in a Japanese restaurant eating ramen. That's what I usually do on Tuesdays when I don't have meetings at this time. You like ramen? The real the real thing, not the pre-cooked one. I always go with I always go with the one on Phoenix Street. I love it. Really? Me too. Well, I used to go. Do you order the spicy miso? How do you know it? I had a feeling. You're starting to scare me. Relax. I haven't said I know your last name yet. Do you know? Really? No, I promise. It was like looking at myself in a slightly distorted mirror. Every time she spoke, I felt like I was discovering something about myself that I didn't remember sharing. It wasn't uncomfortable, but it wasn't normal either. Would you like another coffee? No, I think a strange one a day is enough. What if I were to say one tomorrow? Then I will come again. What if I ordered every day? Then I'll have to come back every day. I enjoy talking to you, you know. I wouldn't have said I wouldn't have said that when you almost knocked the coffee out of my hands. I guess I have a hard time being myself with strangers. But today, I don't know. Sometimes the most natural conversations are the ones you don't plan. Yes, and sometimes they're the ones that hurt the most when they're over. Oh? Is there something wrong? No, I hate that sound. I've always hated it. Sirens? Honestly, you and me both, sister. I always hated like how loud sirens were when I was a kid. Like I've gotten used to them now, but like I still don't like them. They make me feel like something is about to explode. I had to leave a long time ago. Are you in a hurry? Yes. I mean no. But yes, I shouldn't be here. At least not so long. Sorry, really. It was an unexpected chat, but a good one. A really good one. Emily, are you sure you're okay? I'm fine. It's just I can't stay. At the moment, at that moment, her purse opened an instant in front of my eyes. I didn't notice it at first. It was in a blink of an eye, but I saw it. A gun inside the bag, as if carrying that around was normal as the lipstick or notebook. I have to go now, but I'm glad I met you. Take care of yourself, okay? Just like that, she left, as if the conversation hadn't happened, as if she hadn't left me with 1,000 unanswered questions. Thomas, what happened to make Emily leave the cafe? Honestly, I don't know. Everything happened very fast, but the moment she heard the sirens, her face changed. Do you do you think they were looking for her? That was my first thought. I understand that it was motivated by what you saw in her purse. Indeed. Were you afraid when you saw the gun? I did at first, not not because I thought it was sitting with a murderer or a thief. Instead, because it seems that everything she had told me up to that point might have been a lie. As if the conversation had been a sham? Exactly. She seemed like a normal girl up that point. But when I saw that, everything I used to think of her changed. But even so, how would you how you would have wanted to keep chatting with her after seeing that in her purse? I am not here to judge you, I simply want to help you. I would have continued chatting with her that day, hands down, even with the thing in the bag. Did the police come into the cafe? Yes, it was very weird. They were driving with sirens on down the street, and then they parked near the cafe and went in. Did they see Emily? I guess. They passed by her at the entrance. She was going out and they were coming in. The police officer talked to the waiters and left the premises pretty quickly. So at least it is clear that they were not looking for her. Looks like it. So after the conversation, didn't you wonder why she was carrying a gun? Ellie told me she hadn't had an easy life. She ran away from home when she was quite young and came to a city without knowing how to make a living. So Emily was living on the street when she was a minor. She didn't disclose any details. I was already surprised that she had told me something so private when I just met her. But she did not want to go into it any further. Naturally, I respected her boundaries. I'm not sure I would have shared something like that with a stranger so quickly. So taking that into account, it is only logical to think that Emily was used to taking care of herself, and that she thought of the gun as self-defense. Especially as she was a child when she arrived in the city. If she was able to get her hands on a gun at the time, it stands to reason that it would help her feel safe. Thomas, I have all kinds of cases in my practice, and Emily's case is a fairly common one. Not with a gun, of course, but with people who have gone through complex circumstances. Their lives may even have been in danger. Up to this day, they cannot sleep without holding a knife or something that makes them feel safe. It makes sense. It makes sense, of course. But when I saw the gun, it was hard for me to think about it that way. The opposite would have been strange. Was there anything in Emily's conversation that led you to think she had not overcome her past? When we sat down in the cafe, I asked Emily what she did for a living. I remember you mentioning it. She was quite elusive on the subject from what you said. She was at first, but then I was able to find out little by little what her work really was. What did she do? From what I could gather, she worked in some kind of social services department. She told me that she helped other people who had gone through the same thing she had. She told me about girls who had been rejected by the people they loved most. She was trying to help them get their lives back on track. Is it It is clear that she hadn't been able to forget her past. By this time, I understood that the gun was her only way to know that if something like that happened again, she would have a safeguard. That explains to some extent why she didn't want to tell you what she did for a living at first. I guess so. Even when she brought it up, she was vague about it. As if on cue, she was trying to open up to you through her work. I guess. The truth is that she was avoiding the topic, and I didn't want to make her uncomfortable. After all, I had just met her. This is normal. But even so, Emily decided to open up to you. Indeed. But in the end, we mostly talked about video games and such. What did you talk about? As she told me, Emily divided her day to day life into games, reading, and photography. Was Emily a photographer? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Apparently, her dream was to be a freelance nature photographer. Seems that Emily was a box full of surprises. Every time she spoke, it seemed like I was going to discover a new trait that made me want to get to know her more. She didn't like her job at the time? From what she told me, she wanted to move on from what she was doing. Now that we talked about it and after learning what she was hiding, everything makes much more sense now. As I told you, people have different ways of overcoming their past. In Emily's case, helping others like her could almost be almost therapeutic. But now she needs to step away and end that traumatic stage of her life. The curious thing is that she decided that photography was the best way to achieve that goal. Why? Although I'm into software development and it's not my area, I think embarking on something like this without previous experience can make it really hard to make a living of it. But Emily, from what you told me, was a resourceful person. Of course, as we talked, she seemed to know a little bit about everything. You could talk to her about the latest indie video game that was causing a sensation, or about a scientific curiosity that you had seen on YouTube. But you told me that there were elements that didn't add up for you about that, didn't you? There were times like when we talked about a specific video game that it seemed as if she didn't really know what she was talking about. Like when you told me that she made a mistake with an ending of the game, right? Exactly. Maybe you were exaggerating a bit, Thomas. After all, we can all make mistakes. Yes, of course. There are topics where passion gets the best of me, and maybe fear too. It is true that when I listen to passionate people talking about ideas or projects, I feel as if everyone was jumping into the abyss. I envy them for being able to do that. Do you think that doing anything differently can put you in danger? Ever since I was young, I've tried not to stray too far from what was expected of me. Hmm. That's why that's why I have always tried to make us take the safest path. When it comes to matters of the heart, that may not be the best, but you also make sure that you will not be rejected, nor loved. It was that feeling that made me think that it could be my chance. Emily was everything I asked for in someone to share my life with, and that's why, despite everything, I decided to stay after the call from work. When you were called from work, why exactly didn't you leave? Didn't you feel that fear that you were telling me about before? I thought about it, but it was difficult to make a clear judgment. And everything was too perfect. Hmm. I thought, what if fear boycotts me again? Didn't you think you had the right to take at least one risk in your life? Maybe. It surprised me that I ended up taking that risk. But you had the opportunity to pause everything when you were called. You were able to tell her that you could not miss work. How could she judge you for that? Even to this day, I don't understand why I did that. Even when you knew that, basically she was a complete stranger to you. Everyone has something to hide, something they don't show at first. But in her case, what she was hiding was much bigger. Yes, it was, and yet I was attracted to it. I don't quite understand it, but it was like that. And if you were to go back to that moment, would you act differently? I don't know. I want to believe I would, but part of me still thinks I would have stayed anyway, because something inside me wanted to uncover all our mysteries. If you meant putting yourself at risk, even if you put yourself at risk, even if it meant that. There's something that strikes me, Thomas. Your way of condoning her. You look you look for plausible explanations. It makes me think that you hadn't experienced something like this before. A relationship. No, never. Not even close. Have you had many relationships? None that really made a difference. That's why, because of the lack of experience, it seemed more difficult for me to figure out. You think that influenced your decision to stay? A lot. I had nothing to compare it to. I didn't know what was normal and what wasn't. And part of me thought, give it a chance. This might be your story. Your only story? Maybe. That's what I thought at the time. Holding on to a story just because you're afraid you won't have another one. I know. Now I can see it from a different point of view. But in that very moment, it was all I had. Earlier, you implied the importance of faith. That belief that if something was bound to happen, it would happen. Yes, at that moment, I said to myself, "Don't insist. Don't force anything." It seemed to me the easy way out. The next day, I would face the consequences, but at that moment, I was happy. Every second, even when she left the cafe, I kept waiting, thinking that maybe she would come back, that there would be another chance. And what did you do the next day? I didn't go to the cafe. Why? I had to take some distance. Or at least that's what I told myself. I made excuses, work, tiredness, but but the truth is that although I could try to justify what I saw, I was scared. As I told you, I am not one to take risks lightly if I stop to consider them calmly. How long did it take you to come back? 1 week, a whole week, but during those days I thought of nothing else. And when you came back, I had not stopped going, every day, even at weekends. Were you hoping to see her? More than that. I was going I was going because I needed to see her. Needed to see her. I don't know why, but I needed her. Did you change your routine because of it? I requested to work from home, just to spend more time over there. I sat in the same place at the same time at every time the door would open. I hoped it was her. Thomas, I want to ask you again something that I didn't want to something that you didn't want to answer at first. If you are ready, I think it will be a great step. When did you know when did you know you were in love with Emily? I think that it was when she pointed that gun at me. What? I'm actually very intrigued. Okay, chapter 2. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this video here for now. This is already pretty interesting visual novel as is. And I did not think that this would actually be as good as it is, but it is. So, anyways, we're going to continue chapter 2 next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason.